Stop it. Doesn't feel very good at all. Gelatinous ball. What are you doing, garbanzo beans? This is the second one we've gotten this week. But if you squeeze it, it's got some kind of oil. And Patrick's over here barking. He's a little too big for the pouch now. Okay, let's see if we can grab him and eat him. Good morning, everybody. I'm throwing you right into the action today. I got a call at 7 a.m. about a crested caracara that was down at somebody's property. It couldn't fly, and it had been there for about 6 weeks. So this is me sprinting as fast as I can to try and catch this thing. He's a juvenile. How to catch and cook a crested caracara. Thank you for helping, Scott. So if you're new to the channel, I'm a licensed wildlife rehabilitator, and people will call me every now and then about a downed hawk or bird of prey. This guy broke his wing a long time ago. He can't stretch it out. Oh, that doesn't feel good at all. That doesn't feel good one bit. Stop doing that right now. Stop that at once. Stop it.
Hey, that looked like it. Hoyt, the frog guy's on vacation. Don't forget to like the video or I'll do that to you.
Stop that at once.
And old Uncle Ben obviously can't afford a fancy windproof microphone, so I'm gonna have to do a voiceover. But all I was saying is that this is clearly a juvenile that broke the last third of his wing, and there's no way we could fix it. And the fact that this guy had survived on probably just worms and frogs for the last 6 weeks without wings is nothing short of a miracle.
Dan, he's the homeowner, and he said he's seen this guy for how long? You've seen him?
Yeah, it's been about 6 weeks ago. I was riding through this general area where you found her. I was on a quad, came tumbling out of a tree. Looked like the wing was broken and she was hopping off. Told him about it. I came back about a half hour later. I couldn't find her. This morning when I got up, I was fixing some coffee. She was out by my wood pile just picking at worms. So glad you guys came out and got her, man. That's just awesome.
We were looking here for a while. We were just like, yeah, we're definitely not going to find it, because this happens a lot. But then I was like, if he's going to be anywhere, it's probably going to be right by that pond.
But we also saw some baby killdeer, and that would have been a nice snack for this caracara.
It's just a young caracara, a beautiful little bull. It's about half the size of the other ones we've gotten. Got some opossums in here and a few in here. And this little Doverton is still doing pretty well, but we need to feed him now. He's very healthy, and he was by that pond, so he shouldn't be too dehydrated. But just in case, every animal that goes through stress of being captured does need to get a fluid injection, at least a little bit. Start with giving him 15 cc's right here in this little pocket. We'll see how fast he absorbs it. This little guy's probably going to be fine.
And even though this guy had been finding his own food, it is only a matter of time before he'd been viciously killed by a coyote, fox, or bobcat.
Even if you're not an expert on the anatomy of these birds, you can see just from the symmetry that this guy is missing the second half of his wing. He's also got some mites on him. But that's a really clean break that happened apparently 6 weeks ago that healed on its own. Now we're going to go ahead and give him a quick dose of gabapentin for his pain. And because we stressed him out a little bit, I don't feel any more breaks here. Chances are this guy's not going to be able to be released to the wild. Hopefully they'll let us keep him as an ambassador. He's young enough now to where we could still train him to be friendly or used for educational purposes, where we could take him out and teach kids about it. And this tank is now clear and beautiful. I've even seen the axolotls hunting fish. So these guys have officially made a full recovery from when we first got them. But this is what they look like when they're juveniles, and this is what they look like when they're adults, you guys. Beautiful, beautiful creature.
Also, you guys, this was in my driveway. What is this? Is this some kind of crystal or an agate?
We're cutting all the grass here, so as you can see, it's really overgrown, nasty and overgrown. So we're gonna try and cut all this grass. I also lost Master Oogway, who is now much bigger than he used to be, you guys. Look at how big he is now. Somehow, Sensei Ledoux made her way into this cage. I don't know if she dug in. I think she got through this little hole here in the ground. I'm gonna bring her in too, because we're gonna cut all the grass. They'll be just fine in here until they're done. But Gustavo now lives in here comfortably with this Oscar. And I have Kevin in here with just Karen, because I don't want him breeding with his daughters. I like to keep him separate so that he doesn't attack all of our volunteers and staff. He's still a precious little baby boy, and it doesn't hurt as much when he bites you. Oh, but it doesn't feel very good at all. That's definitely worse than the caracara. Getting better. He's getting a lot better at biting me. But you turn around, you let me give you a little pat on the butt, and you can get out of here. I'm no Chandler's Wildlife with those fancy smancy snakes. Basically, I can read Kevin and know his strike zone. He's starting to respect me a lot more now, especially since I put Karen in here with him. Never mind. Oh my goodness, look at this Tibby. This is the last fella that we have left, and I will be keeping him. Oh my goodness, look at him. I have one little female Rhea that just free ranges to help keep the grass down. This beautiful mama and her adorable little big bounce child have all of this grass to eat with her. And this cringe man just goes wherever he wants nowadays. I have to pick this guy up when I'm walking back here, or else he'll just run into my feet until I kick him, or until I throw him. And as you can see, he gets some pretty good air nowadays. I still have that pond fenced off over there until we can get a filter for it. And Kevin's son is with his beautiful wife here that is not related to him in any way at all. And for Homelander, I just fill this tub up and I put it right here. And And pretty soon we're gonna go ahead and cover this whole area with sand so that it never gets muddy again. And Kumala's got that real big hump on his nose. That's how you can tell he is our only male. And now that Sylvester has gone to his lovely new home, we only have 3 Cappies here now. And they all seem to be pretty happy with each other. But all of them are now friendly again. And they all basically let me scratch him whenever I want. He probably shouldn't be eating too much of that. Look how oily this nose thing is, you guys. I'm gonna try and touch it. Ooh, it's just like a little gelatinous ball on top of his nose. And I think it's itchy. I always see him trying to scratch it on things. If you squeeze it, it's got some kind of oily secretion coming out. And for the first time since Kumalo was attacked, you guys, he's finally trusting enough to let me just scratch him. And although I really miss Sylvester, you guys, it's really nice to have a male Cappy that's the head honcho and the alpha here that I can just scratch until he flops over. And I know he's obviously never gonna hurt me or anyone else on this property. And Patrick's over here barking right now. And having him in here for the last week has basically just been an extended physical therapy non-stop for him. And now he's walking basically normally. He's always gonna have a little bit of a limp because his leg is now shorter. And now that he's got these big old horns, it's kind of a safety concern. As you can see, he tries to headbutt just about everybody except for me, so I have to kind of move him away. This includes all of our volunteers. But never mind, he's headbutting me now. Okay. Wow, look at this little fella. Okay, let's see if we can grab him and eat him. He's a little too big for the pouch now. As you can see, I can see his little fingies right there. But let's see if we can get a look in that pouch, huh? And she doesn't care at all if I'm touching her little baby's hand. Look at this. Oh, and now he's sniffing me. Let's see if we can fold that pouch back. Oh, mama, let me get a look in there. Let's see. As you guys can see, this little guy is about ready to be pulled out of this pouch. I don't need to pull him out, but he'd probably end up being a little bit friendlier if we did. But it's nice that she lets me touch him now. But we have Colton coming today to cut the rest of the grass in here. We still need to install that filter. Once we kind of cut all of this grass, everything should be good for the next month at least. And the feral hogs and Nutria are doing really well. And they sure do love running around this enclosure. But when I come back here alone, Kevin and his son both try to attack me. And they both awkwardly and clumsily run along the fence line. And look at this precious little baby in here, you guys. The good Lord has blessed us tremendously this year. And hopefully this little fella will be healthy as well. This boy's too dang big to still be in that pouch. Also, it's when I'm alone back here that this little guy tries to trip me up. Look at this. If I just walk, he's gonna try and get in front of my leg. If any of you guys have dogs or cats, you know what it's like to step on your dog's toes. The second worst feeling in the world. And it's way worse if you do it to this little fella, because he's just so perfect and round. But I went ahead and turned the sprinklers back on so I could give Patrick some water. For some reason, this hole over here has always held water really well, and so have those other ones, but this one just does not. Like I said before, we'll be getting a liner and an actual pond put in here pretty soon. Even though these goobers have a whole pond over there that's real nice, these fellas would prefer to just poop in the water for the other animals. Cringe, clappy, blappy. Also, every time they get in here, half the water gets poured out because they're so dang fat. But we actually did too good of a job of feeding these guys now. Look at this guy. He's fat. He's getting rolls of fat on. This is a little barred owl that came in. This is the second one we've gotten this week. Did he get hit by a car?
No.
Near the road, or?
I think so.
Yeah, he might have even got attacked by a coyote or something, but it was probably a car. But these little fellas are doing very well, and they have all kinds of enrichment and food in here to eat. And there's one hiding under this little lump here. And all these babies are hiding in here. We got 4 bunnies in here that should be ready to be released today. Queen's over there rolling around in something nasty that she found, and Polgas is just eating a little tweet. But everything in here is all clean. All the critters have fresh towels and food and water, and these little guys are going to be going home with Ian and Sky so that they can bottle feed them. And we now have all of these enclosures set up in here because we're getting more and more every day. But tomorrow morning, we're going to be going to All Things Wild to give them that Caracara. It will be in very capable hands down there with them. And look who doesn't have to walk through 2 feet of weeds anymore. Weeb. And it looks like the kangaroos survived the scary lawnmowers for now. When these guys get scared, sometimes they'll throw their babies. That's why it's nice for us to have this whole space in the back here where they can get away whenever we're mowing the lawn. It looks like this precious little mama didn't throw her baby. Oh, and look at his little head. But now she lets me come right up to him and poke his little ears. And I get to play with him and scratch his little head. This is just the most precious little fella. This whole algae bloom happened literally just today. I have to probably clean a lot of this out as well. Or get some more bacteria for the auto doser. You can see that the gar survived the winter. So did the bass. Cappies have already destroyed this drinking water. I like to roll around in the mud and then get back in here. And the last thing I need to do now is just refill Homelander's water. It's nasty and covered in algae. And these two bunnies are old enough to go back to be released into the wild. All right, everybody, we just got this almost fully fledged Inca dove and these two possums back to back. These guys are the same size as these ones, so I can wash their little fleas off real quick and then I'll put them right back in there. This little guy's still doing well in here. He ate the little cottontail that I gave him. They passed away of natural causes. Tomorrow morning, first thing, he's going to All Things Wild. But there it is, everybody. This enclosure is finally weed whacked, and this whole area here is now nice and trimmed. Is this my new Poppy? Wait a minute, he's just trying to mate with me. Oh, he is actually trying to mate with me. Look at this, you guys. Oh my goodness, no. Oh, what are you doing, Garbanzo Beans?
Hey, I'm back from vacation. What did I miss?
What is he doing? This is what happens if I let him actually get on top of me, you guys. All right, Garbanzo Beans, that's enough. How's about you get back into the water, buddy? That just answered our question as to why Garbanzo Beans is so cringe. And these pigarinos are now officially weaned, so this is their last ever milk feeding. Look at these messy little babies. All these little guys are going to be going to great families that aren't going to treat them like most Texans treat feral hogs. And these guys are all going to be little pets on hobby farm. And from now on, I'm just going to be giving them the Purina feed. But that's it for now, everybody. I love you. I appreciate you. Thanks so much for watching my videos, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, almost forgot to tell you.